Have you ever felt a strange familiarity with a time you've never known, a place you've never been? The idea of reincarnation, the belief that we are born again into new lives, is one of the oldest mysteries of humankind. It transcends cultures and continents, echoing through centuries of human experience. But could it be real? Could the essence of who we are, our very souls, journey from one life to the next? Today, we're exploring 5 real-life stories of reincarnation that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about life and death. Our first story comes from the heartland of America, where a young boy named James Leininger began having vivid, recurring nightmares. From the age of 2, James would wake up in a cold sweat, crying out about a plane crash, a terrible fire. He spoke of flying, of a place called Iwo Jima, words a child his age shouldn't know. These weren't just fleeting nightmares. They were visceral, detailed accounts, accompanied by drawings of warplanes engulfed in flames. James's parents, Andrea and Bruce, found themselves at a loss. Their son's terror was palpable, his recall of the dream unnervingly specific. He spoke of a man named Jack Larson and of dying in a plane called a Corsair. He even drew a picture of a plane exploding on impact, with a figure he identified as himself trapped inside. Driven by a desperate need to understand their son's torment, Andrea and Bruce began to investigate. They discovered that Iwo Jima was a ferocious battle in World War II. Their search led them deeper into the annals of history, where they stumbled upon a chilling discovery. There, in the records of the US Navy, was the name James Houston Jr., a fighter pilot who tragically lost his life at Iwo Jima. Houston had flown a Corsair, just as young James had claimed in his dreams. The boy even knew details about the plane's mechanics, information far beyond what a child his age should possess. His knowledge was so precise that it left his parents and experts baffled. Andrea and Bruce consulted with experts in child psychology and history, hoping to find a rational explanation. The experts were astounded by the accuracy of James's descriptions and drawings, which matched historical records perfectly. The family even visited a World War II memorial, where James seemed to recognize details and names that he had never been exposed to before. He pointed out faces in old photographs, identifying people and places with an eerie familiarity. Through it all, Andrea and Bruce stood by their son, seeking to comfort him and understand the mystery that had enveloped their lives. The story of James Leininger remains one of the most compelling cases of past life memories, leaving us to ponder the mysteries of the human mind and the possibilities beyond our understanding. Our journey into the heart of reincarnation now takes us to the bustling streets of 1930s India, where a young girl named Shanti Devi would challenge the very foundations of our understanding of life and death. Her story, meticulously documented and rigorously investigated, continues to baffle and intrigue even the staunchest of skeptics. Shanti Devi was just a child when she began to speak of a life she had lived before, a life filled with details that were both vivid and verifiable. She claimed that her name was not Shanti, but Lugdi Devi, and that she had lived in a city called Mathura, hundreds of miles away from her current home in Delhi. At first, her parents dismissed her stories as childish fantasies. But as Shanti grew older, so did the clarity and insistence of her claims. She spoke of a husband and a child, of a life cut short by tragedy. The details were so specific, so intricately woven into the fabric of her being, that her family could no longer ignore them. Shanti Devi's case caught the attention of a prominent Indian leader, Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi, intrigued by her story, formed a committee to investigate. The committee, led by a respected professor, traveled with Shanti to Mathura, the city she claimed to have once called home. What they witnessed there sent shockwaves through their ranks. Chapter 3: The Echoes of Lost Lives. The Pollock Twin Reincarnation Mystery. Our exploration of reincarnation now takes a somber turn, leading us to the quiet streets of Hexham, England, where a family's grief would become intertwined with the baffling possibility of souls reborn. This quaint town, with its serene atmosphere, would soon become the backdrop for one of the most intriguing and heart-wrenching stories of reincarnation ever recorded. This is the story of the Pollock twins, a story that chills the bone and makes us question the very nature of life, death, and the unbreakable bonds of family. It is a tale that has fascinated and perplexed researchers, skeptics, and believers alike for decades. In 1957, tragedy struck the Pollock family. John and Florence Pollock lost their daughters, 11-year-old Joanna and 6-year-old Jacqueline, in a heartbreaking car accident. The loss was sudden and devastating, leaving the family in a state of profound sorrow. The girls, inseparable in life, were ripped away from their parents, leaving an unfillable void in their lives. The grief was palpable, and the family struggled to find a way to move forward. A year later, in a twist of fate that seemed to defy all odds, Florence gave birth to twin girls once more. The birth of these twins was seen as a miracle, a beacon of hope amidst the darkness of their loss. They named them Gillian and Jennifer. The names were chosen with care, a symbol of new beginnings and the continuation of life. While the arrival of the twins brought a glimmer of hope into the grieving household, it also marked the beginning of a series of inexplicable events that would forever change the family's understanding of life after death. The Pollocks were about to embark on a journey that would challenge their beliefs and open their minds to the mysteries of the universe. As the twins grew older, a pattern of strange and unsettling behavior began to emerge. These behaviors were not just odd, they were eerily reminiscent of Joanna and Jacqueline. Gillian and Jennifer, despite being much younger than their deceased sisters, seemed to possess an uncanny knowledge of their lives, their habits, their most cherished possessions. It was as if the memories of Joanna and Jacqueline had been imprinted onto the twins. They recognized toys that had belonged to Jacqueline and Joanna, toys they had never seen before. This recognition was not just casual, it was detailed and specific, adding to the mystery that surrounded their birth and existence. Chapter 4: Whispers from Ancient Egypt. The Dorothy Eady Reincarnation Case. Our exploration of reincarnation now transports us to the sun-drenched sands of Egypt, a land steeped in history, mystery, and the echoes of ancient civilizations. This is the story of Dorothy Eady, a woman who claimed to be the reincarnation of an Egyptian priestess, a woman whose life became a bridge between two worlds, separated by millennia. Dorothy Eady, born in 1904 in a London suburb, was a seemingly ordinary child until a life-altering event changed the course of her destiny. At the age of 3, she suffered a serious fall, an accident that left her seemingly unharmed. However, in the aftermath of the fall, Dorothy underwent a profound transformation. She began speaking of a distant land, a land of towering pyramids and majestic temples. She spoke of pharaohs and priests, of hieroglyphs and ancient rituals, her young mind overflowing with images and sensations from a time long past. Dorothy claimed to remember a past life, a life lived in the shadow of the great pharaoh Seti I. As Dorothy grew older, her fascination with ancient Egypt intensified. She pored over books on Egyptology, her soul yearning to reconnect with the life she believed she had once lived. Chapter 5: A Diary, a Destiny, a Reincarnation. The Barbara Carlin, Anne Frank Connection. Our final journey into the heart of reincarnation takes us to the heart of one of history's darkest chapters, the Holocaust. The Holocaust, a period marked by unimaginable suffering and loss, has left an indelible mark on humanity. This is the story of Barbara Carlin, a Swedish woman who believes she is the reincarnation of Anne Frank, the young Jewish diarist whose words have touched millions around the world. Anne Frank's diary, a poignant testament to the human spirit, continues to resonate across generations. Her story, fraught with controversy and emotional intensity, compels us to confront the possibility that the human spirit can endure even the most unimaginable horrors and find its way back to life, to love, to hope. It challenges our understanding of life, death, and the mysteries that lie beyond. Barbro Karlin's story begins in 1954 in Sweden, a world away from the horrors of Nazi-occupied Amsterdam. Born into a peaceful post-war era, Barbro's early years were marked by an inexplicable connection to a past she had never lived. From a young age, Barbro was plagued by nightmares, vivid and terrifying dreams of hiding in a cramped attic, of fear, of soldiers, of a life cut tragically short. These dreams were not just fleeting images, but intense experiences that left her shaken. As she grew older, the nightmares persisted, evolving into detailed memories, fragments of a life that seemed both familiar and utterly alien. These memories were like pieces of a puzzle, slowly coming together to form a picture of a past life. Barbro spoke of a family named Frank, of a diary, of a secret annex hidden behind a bookcase, details that mirrored the life and death of Anne Frank. Her recollections were so precise that they defied logical explanation. At first, Barbro's parents dismissed her stories as childish fantasies, a byproduct of the countless books and documentaries about Anne Frank that had captivated the world. They believed her imagination was simply influenced by the pervasive cultural memory of Anne Frank. But Barbro's conviction was unwavering. She held on to her truth with a determination that was both inspiring and unsettling. She knew, deep in her soul, that her memories were real, that she had lived and died as Anne Frank. This profound belief shaped her identity and her life's journey, leading her to seek answers to the mysteries of her past. So, what do you think? Are these stories proof that reincarnation is real? Or is there another explanation? Is it possible that our souls, like actors in a grand cosmic play, take on different roles, different lives, across the vast expanse of time? Or are these stories simply examples of the human mind's remarkable ability to imagine, to project, to find meaning in the face of the unknown? If you found these stories as fascinating as we did, hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible mysteries that challenge the way we see the world. The journey into the heart of our existence, the quest to understand who we are, where we come from, and where we go after we leave this earthly realm, is far from over. Join us as we continue to explore the unexplained, the enigmatic, the extraordinary.